Hello everyone, this is Starry Ari's ASMR. I am Ari, and today you can see that I have a full, almost complete April calendar, which means it is time to do a new meal calendar for the month of May. So I am filming this on the 30th, so today is the very last day of the month. And I want to fill out the rest of May before we get into it. So, a few things. If you have not seen one of my meal calendar videos before, this is something that my husband and I like to do for our household. It works well for us. And I am filming this in my kitchen, so you might hear noises of my dog getting up, moving around, drinking water, or my neighbors. They have a young toddler, and I can very frequently hear them playing through our thin walls, like right now. So, very lo-fi. So I'm going to briefly explain the process of this calendar, and if you haven't seen any of these before, I do have a playlist. I've done quite a few of these videos now, I think since back to November. So I will link that playlist. So this is our monthly calendar, and as you can see, we did some fun little illustrations for April. We did kind of some Easter eggs, and we had an interesting mix of weather this month. So we did some rain and some lightning clouds. And then my husband did some funny Easter eggs. Like he hid Easter eggs on the calendar. So one of them was underneath the magnet. He drew this little hatching chick underneath our little magnet. And we just like to do a cheesy little drawing at the beginning of each month. It's just fun for us. So we like to fill this out with some dinner options, and then you'll see these F of Y days. Those stand for Fend for Yourself. And usually we kind of build those in when we know that we're going to have leftovers, or we know that we're going out, or we have an event or something like that. So we frequently will have lots of those kind of sprinkled throughout the month. And we usually like to make enough food to make sure that we have leftovers. We are both big leftover people, and I would rather do that than have to cook every day. So this works for us. So over here, I'm going to leave these. So we kind of put our slightly less checked grocery items that we notice that we are running low on. So I know that we need to get some more tub butter and popcorn. I love popcorn. Popcorn is one of my favorite snacks. And then white rice. We're running a little low on white rice. So I'm going to leave those up there today. But I'm going to start by wiping our calendar clean. And to do that, I have this dry paper towel. I like to use this because it's a little bit faster than the tiny little eraser on the marker. So I'm just going to go ahead and erase all of this. I will add timestamps to this video as well if you're wanting to skip around and just jump straight to the planning portion. And we did have a new marker that I used for the month of April, and it seems to have left a slight residue. I don't know if you'll be able to see it, but for some reason, once I've wiped this away, there's almost a very, very faint pink. So I'm going to take a damp paper towel and see if I can get all of that off as well. I'm going to call that good for our main calendar here. So now this is nice and clean, and I'm going to fill out the month of May. I'm not going to use this little marker because it is on its way out. I like to have it for the little eraser when we're doing small changes to the calendar during the month, but for this video I'm going to use this marker. So let's go ahead and start by writing the month of May. And then I'll leave plenty of space if we want to do little drawings. And then the month of May starts on a Thursday. So the first is a Thursday. Second, third, fourth, fifth, sixth, seventh, eighth, ninth, 10th, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30, and 31. May does have 31 days in the month. So now that we have our month fully filled out, I'm going to go ahead and mark off the days that I know that we're going to be gone. And we do have a couple of weekend trips this month. So this weekend of the 9th through the 11th is Mother's Day weekend. And we are traveling to go see our moms. So I'm going to put gone. And then I think I'll just kind of drag it like that because I think I do maybe want to plan just like a super simple meal for the Sunday that we come back. But I kind of want it to be like obvious that we're coming back on that day. So I'm going to continue that there. And then we also have a camping trip. This is Memorial Day weekend, and we have a camping trip planned. So we're going to be gone for that weekend as well. So we won't need to do any meals at home. We'll do our like camp meals, but I plan that separately. And I'm going to do the same thing. We're coming back on that Monday. I'm not too sure if we're going to want to do something or we might just do like leftovers from any camp food that we still have. So we'll do that. And I think that might be all of the days that we're going to be gone or doing something this month so far that we have planned. So I am going to go ahead and get started. So my husband and I have already kind of brainstormed some general meals that both of us would like at some point during this month. And then I'm just going to kind of fill in the rest of it. We have kind of like a running master list of meals that we do pretty regularly. If you've seen multiple of my meal calendar videos, you're going to see repeats of meals. But we really like doing the month calendar because I feel like it helps us spread out meals so that we're not doing like spaghetti every single week or something like that. So I'm going to go ahead and dive right in. I already know because we're doing chili tonight, we're going to have leftovers for Thursday. And then we wanted to do our DIY pizzas. I don't know why my tea looks so funky. But DIY pizzas, it's exactly what it sounds like. We get pizza crust from the store. We don't make our own pizza crust. And then we do kind of our own toppings. We get lots of veggies. And we'll do like sun-dried tomatoes and roasted bell peppers. Lots of good yummy stuff. Mushrooms, pepperoni. And we just kind of make our own pizzas. And we've been craving pizza, and this way is not particularly healthy, but healthier than ordering pizza. So we're gonna do DIY pizzas on Friday, and then I think that we will probably have some leftovers on Saturday. But even if we don't, I know that we're planning on going rock climbing on Saturday, so if we're super hungry after that, we might get a big lunch, and we might not want a whole lot for dinner, so I'm just going to put fend for yourself anyways. And then on the 4th, we usually have lots of these sun-dried tomatoes and roasted bell peppers left over from the DIY pizzas. And so when we do DIY pizzas, I usually also like to schedule our balsamic chicken wraps. I was trying to remember how to spell balsamic. So this is just, it's kind of what it sounds like. We do a wrap with rice and grilled chicken and the roasted red bell peppers, sun-dried tomatoes, drizzled with some balsamic vinaigrette, or balsamic vinegar. So that's super, super simple, but I always feel fancy when we have it. We don't use balsamic vinegar for a ton, but I really enjoy it. Okay, so with that, we will probably have some leftovers from the chicken, so we can either do some more wraps. I'm going to fix that Y. I don't know why I wrote the Y like that. Okay. It is what it is. So I'm going to do Fend for Yourself on the 5th. And then I think we wanted to do our chicken pot pie soup again. We have done this one like at least every other month, and it's so tasty. And I know that we're getting into spring, so we're getting away from like our soup meals a little bit, but I love soup, so we're still gonna have some soup. And then we will definitely have leftovers from that. And then I usually like to try and do a Fend for Yourself night the day before a travel weekend, or at least like a super simple meal so that we don't have leftovers that could potentially be going to waste. And because I'm pretty sure we're going to have lots of soup, we might even have enough soup for dinner on Thursday. If not, we can always cook something super simple. We always have like frozen tilapia, frozen chicken breast in the freezer, but I'm going to put another Fend for Yourself day. That way we can just make sure that we've eaten up anything that's in the fridge still. And then we're going to be gone on these days. I think maybe I will do just something super simple for the day that we come back. I think I'm going to plan BLTs. I love BLTs. This is something that we do most months, I feel like. At least every other month. So with BLTs, we always have extra bacon and extra avocado. So I usually like to also do baked potatoes, just so that we can use some of those ingredients. So we'll do baked potatoes the next day. And when we get potatoes, we get like a big bag of potatoes, and then usually we will like air fry them or just grill them really quickly as a side for lots of our meals. And we also usually have like side salad or carrots or something that we can just really quickly add. So I'm gonna do baked potatoes, and then we'll do a fend for yourself because we might have some leftovers from that. And then, oh, we tried something this month in April that I really liked, and it was chicken fried rice. And I mean, I feel like we've all had chicken fried rice at some point, but I had never made it, and it was actually pretty simple, and we really enjoyed it. So we're gonna do that again, and we wrote down some notes for the recipe we used that we wanted to kind of tweak a few things here and there. So we want to try that again with our edits and see how we're feeling about that. So we're going to do chicken fried rice on that Wednesday. And then I think let's do a fend for yourself on this Thursday. And then I do usually like to have kind of either a more intensive or like heavier leftover meal on Fridays, just so that kind of carries us through the weekend, because oftentimes we're busy or we're doing stuff, or we're not busy and doing stuff and we want to just like chill out. So on the weekends I usually like to have one big meal on Friday that can at least take us through Saturday. And my husband really wanted to do schnitzel. We make our schnitzel with Brussels sprouts. I don't know if they go together particularly well cuisine-wise, but we always make it with Brussels sprouts. I forgot the S. So we're going to do schnitzel and Brussels sprouts, and then we'll do fend for yourself on that Saturday. And I'm thinking, oh, we don't have a shrimp meal yet. If you've seen other videos, I always talk about shrimp. I love shrimp, and we usually have at least one shrimp meal each month. And I think I want to do shrimp tacos. I love shrimp tacos. Super simple and really tasty, and we definitely end up having leftovers with the amount of shrimp that we make. So I'm going to do a fend for yourself day for the next day. And then I'm thinking, kind of right in the lead up to camping, I like to do simpler meals just because we're getting everything prepped. Like every evening we're like going through our camp totes, making sure that we've got everything ready. So I don't want like a bunch of kind of more intensive meals. None of our meals are like very intensive at all either way, but so I think I'm gonna do air fryer barbecue chicken. Super simple. It's exactly what it sounds like. We air fry some chicken breast, and then kind of towards the end we glaze it with some barbecue sauce, put it back in, and it has like really nice glaze. And then we will do some veggies on the side. It could be like a big side salad, or sometimes we'll just do like carrots or mixed veggies or something. So I'm not too sure what side we'll do with that, but that's an easy enough meal that I think happy having that the week before camping. And then we do usually have leftovers, so I'm gonna do fend for yourself. And then I think the day before camping, I'm gonna just do grilled cheese. I love grilled cheese. This is another one that we do, I feel like, pretty much every month. Super simple. Grilled cheese and tomato soup and salad. Really lovely. So we're gonna do that. And then I'm thinking on the day that we get back from camping, I'm gonna do a fend I assume that we're gonna have maybe some leftover like hot dogs or something that we can do when we get back, which will be nice because we'll be unpacking and lots of laundry to try and get the campfire smoke smell out of our stuff. So we're gonna be a little busy when we come back. And then I think we haven't done taco salads in a little bit, and I really like taco salads. It's really easy, but we also usually get some leftovers out of it. So I'm going to do fend for yourself the next day. And oh, we did want to do spaghetti. We also wanted to do a different pasta dish. We wanted to do one of our like rigatoni with sausage and peas meals, and I don't really want to do like two heavy pastas back to back. So I am thinking maybe what I will do is move my shrimp tacos to one of these days, and I will put our rigatoni meal here. I'm just going to write rigatoni, and then I'm going to try and find the page. Here it is. There we go. Easy rigatoni with sausage and peas. We've got like a splash of something on the page. There it is. It's very, very tasty. Very delicious. So that is page 98. I always like to put the page number even though I have the convenient tabs. It's just nice to not have to search through too much. So we're going to do the rigatoni that Sunday. And then the shrimp tacos, maybe I will actually put them right here, because then we can use some of the same ingredients from our taco salads. So we'll do our shrimp tacos on that Wednesday, and then we'll do a fend for yourself the next day. And then we wanted to do spaghetti. And we love spaghetti. We always end up getting like sourdough bread or something on the side, or like a simple French bread, and big side salads, and we like to do like a meat sauce with mushrooms. And we always have lots of leftovers from spaghetti. I don't know how anyone could make like a single serving of spaghetti. Like, how would you do that? So I'm gonna do fend for yourself the next day. And I'm gonna just kind of look over everything, see where we're at. Luckily this month with a few weekend trips, we're not really having to make as many meals. Like, if we weren't going to be gone, I'd probably have one meal here and one meal here and here, so that kind of brings us down by, 3 or 4 maybe. And I think that this is generally looking pretty good. I think that I am happy that I swapped those around. Well, that is my May meal calendar. And this, of course, is flexible very frequently. By the end of the month, you'll be able to see that. Like, we always kind of shift things around, move things around. Sometimes we might not feel like cooking one day and we still have more leftovers than we'd expected, so we just push it to the next day. So it's very flexible, but it just helps us to have a little bit of a guide going into a new month. We don't have to stress stress about it. We don't have to have the endless household conversation of what to do for dinner. So this works for us. I hope that you enjoyed watching me meal plan this upcoming month. We're definitely a little bit busier this month, so we'll see kind of what this looks like at the end of the month and whether we've had to kind of move things around a bit. Thank you so much for watching, and I